Thinking. Thinking is the process of considering or reasoning about something. It is the action of using one's mind to produce thoughts. As mentioned in many places, in their most common sense, the terms thought and thinking refer to conscious cognitive processes that can happen independently of sensory stimulation. Forms of thinking can be identified as judging, reasoning, concept formation, problem solving, and deliberation. And the other mental processes, like considering an idea, memory, or imagination, are also included to thinking as well. Any mental event may be understood as a form of thinking. According to some scholars in the field, even the perception and unconscious mental processes are also considered as a part of thinking process. But when understood in the widest and slightly different sense, the term thought mostly refers not to the mental processes themselves, but to mental states or systems of ideas brought about by these processes. Thinking is a function of our humanity. Being conscious and aware improves everything we do. In general, the difference between one who thinks and one who simply acts on instinct is their ability to make decisions about right and wrong. Humans as ethical beings deal with how we treat other people, animals, and our physical world. As a thinker, you have that ability to decide. Thinking almost involves in everything you do. For an example, sharp thinking and reasoning processes are central to clear speaking. But most of the people are poor thinkers. Not enough people use their thinking skills. We take our brain power for granted, or assume it is already fully formed. In this point, Buckminster Fuller, the famous futuristic thinker, once said, "Everyone is born a genius, but the process of living degeniuses most of us." The famous book, How Successful People Think, says that, at the mercy of ruthless people who would take advantage of them or try to deceive them. Good thinkers are always in demand. Good thinkers solve problems. They never lack ideas that can build an organization, and they always have hope for a better future. Thinking is a skill. Thinking is perhaps one of the simplest things to improve that can improve your overall impact. At Microsoft, most of the employees are being trained in strategic thinking, creative thinking, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence. In each of these trainings, they learn new lenses, models, and techniques to improve their thinking. What you need to keep in mind is, you don't have to be the smartest apple in the barrel. Instead, know the right tool for the job. Edward de Bono says, in his book titled Tactics, The Art and Science of Success, that learning thinking as a skill is more important than raw talent. The essence of that book can be summarized in these points. Tease not what you've got, it's how you use it. You're more limited by a lack of skill than a lack of IQ. Skill wins over natural talent. The way I like to think of it is, in a bar fight, who do you bet on, the boxer or the brawler? Natural talent takes you so far, skills take you further. Thinking is not the same as IQ. Rather than think in terms of IQ, think in terms of thinking skills. This means you can acquire and learn new skills to improve your thinking. Thinking can be developed through training and deliberate effort. It's not what you've got, it's how you use it. Bono says like this: I like to think of intelligence as being equivalent to the horsepower of a car. The skill of thinking is then the skill of the driver. There may be a powerful car driven badly and a humble car driven well. Indeed, a powerful car may be particularly dangerous because it demands a higher degree of driving skill. I believe that thinking skill, like driving skill, can be developed through training and deliberate effort. Earned ability over raw talent. Somebody who is naturally good at math would still be less effective than somebody who is trained in math. De Bono writes, if we tested the raw natural mathematical abilities of a group of people, we would get a scatter of talent. But even the best people would probably fall far behind someone who had learned the notations, methods, and systems that have developed for the operation of mathematics. Skill in thinking is more important than genetic endowment. Skills make the difference. De Bono writes, because we have made so very little effort to train thinking deliberately as a skill, we have to rely on untutored natural ability. When we start to treat thinking like a skill and to train it, we may find that skill in thinking is more important than genetic endowment in this area, within certain limits. For example, the use of the random word as a deliberate creative technique can yield a higher output of ideas than an effort without such a technique. A change in thinking doesn't happen on its own. Good ideas rarely go out and find someone. If you want to find a good idea, you must search for it. If you want to become a better thinker, you need to work at it, and once you begin to become a better thinker, the good ideas keep coming. In fact, the amount of good thinking you can do at any time depends primarily on the amount of good thinking you are already doing. Gold mines tap out. Stock markets crash. Real estate investments can go sour. But a human mind with the ability to think well is like a diamond mine that never runs out. It's priceless. Practice and develop thinking skills. Thinking is worth the investment. Author Napoleon Hill observed, more gold has been mined from the thoughts of man than has ever been taken from the earth. When you take the time to learn how to change your thinking and become a better thinker, you are investing in yourself.